Hello, Kentucky. Some things just happen and we don't understand them, like Acaden Lewis. Acaden Lewis' decision to decommit from Kentucky raises intriguing questions about the factors that may have influenced his choice. Ranked as the 32nd best player in the 2025 class and the 5th best at his position, Lewis was seen as a valuable piece in Mark Pope's recruitment for next season. His sudden departure, especially after having committed to the Wildcats during the early signing period, is a move that has generated curiosity and speculation within the college basketball world. One of the possible reasons for this decision may have to do with the role Lewis expected to play on the roster. With the arrival of other promising talents, such as Jasper Johnson and Malachi Moreno, he could have anticipated fewer playing opportunities or even the risk of being relegated to the bench. For a player with lofty aspirations, especially one ranked near the top of his class, the prospect of not being a starter may have weighed heavily on the scales. After all, high-profile players often seek out programs where they can shine early, maximizing their exposure and development for future opportunities, including the NBA. Another plausible hypothesis involves the growing impact of NIL on college recruiting. In recent years, the ability to monetize one's image has become a deciding factor for many athletes when choosing a college. While Kentucky has an impressive infrastructure and a passionate fan base, it's possible that Lewis considered other options where NIL deals might be more robust or aligned with his personal financial ambitions. This scenario would reflect the new reality of college basketball, where players' decisions are not always centered solely on the game, but also on opportunities off the court. Regardless of the reason, Lewis' departure leaves Kentucky in a delicate position in the recruiting process. The 2025 class, which already had high expectations, is now down to just 2 players. This puts even more pressure on Mark Pope and his staff to find replacements that will keep the program competitive. However, it is important to remember that the transfer market and recruiting portal are teeming with talent, and Kentucky has the history and prestige to attract key players who can make up for this loss. On the other hand, it is essential to wish Acaden Lewis well on his journey. Regardless of the circumstances that led to his decision, he is looking for the best for his future, both on and off the court. College basketball is a crucial phase in any player's life, and every decision made during this period should be respected. Wherever Lewis goes next, he has the potential to become a big name in the sport, and rooting for his success is something all basketball fans can do. Acaden Lewis's uncommitment serves as a reminder that college recruiting is an unpredictable process. As Kentucky adjusts its plans moving forward, the mystery surrounding Lewis' motivations, whether it's fear of being benched, a quest for better NIL opportunities, or even unknown personal factors, remains unanswered. What we do know is that the world of college basketball continues to evolve, shaped by individual decisions that, as strange as they may seem, reflect the complexities and priorities of each player. Kentucky loses veteran Frankie Collins' decision to commit to Vanderbilt, leaving Kentucky out of the running, raises important questions about how this move could impact the SEC's competitive landscape and, specifically, the Wildcats' immediate future. However, when looking at the situation from different angles, it becomes clear that while the loss of Collins may be felt, it does not necessarily define the program's fate for next season. Frankie Collins is a seasoned player, having attended 3 different colleges before arriving at Vanderbilt. His versatility as a small forward, combined with his ability to contribute in multiple aspects of the game, scoring, rebounding, and assists, makes him a valuable asset to any roster. Averaging solid 11.2 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game during his brief stint at TCU, he has demonstrated that he can play a central role on a team even after overcoming significant injuries, such as the broken foot that limited his participation in 2023 to 2024. For Vanderbilt, Collins' arrival represents a strategic boost. He is exactly the type of player who can help the Commodores cement their return to the national stage after years of missing the NCAA tournament. Collins will have the opportunity to lead a team that is looking to establish consistency in the conference. His talent and experience could be a catalyst for Vanderbilt to continue its rise in the SEC, making it an even tougher opponent for programs like Kentucky. While Collins is a talented player, his absence from Kentucky should not be seen as a tragedy for the program. College recruiting is a dynamic and competitive process, and it is not always possible to secure every desired target. Additionally, Mark Pope has demonstrated a remarkable ability to build balanced rosters, mixing experienced veterans with promising youngsters. There is still time for Kentucky to look for other pieces on the transfer market or rely on the players already on the roster to fill the gaps. Kentucky also has a winning culture that constantly attracts new talent. Even with Collins opting for Vanderbilt, the Wildcats program remains a dominant force in the SEC. The infrastructure, exposure, and track record of developing players toward the NBA are factors that will be hard to beat by any other program in the long run. Collins' arrival at Vanderbilt could alter the balance of power in the SEC, especially considering the Commodores are on the rise. With Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Auburn traditionally holding strong positions in the conference, the addition of a player like Collins could give the Commodores the confidence to compete at a higher level. This means Kentucky will face even stiffer competition within the SEC, something that was expected given the increasingly competitive conference. However, it is worth remembering that Kentucky has the resources and tradition to handle this type of challenge. The loss of Collins does not diminish the program's potential. It simply highlights the importance of continuing to strategically strengthen the transfer market and recruit new talent. For Kentucky, this is a missed opportunity, but not a definitive defeat. College basketball is full of examples of teams that have achieved success even without securing all of their recruiting targets. Furthermore, healthy competition within the SEC only strengthens the conference as a whole, raising the level of all teams involved. Mark Pope and his team have the ability to adjust their strategies and find alternatives that will keep Kentucky on top. And that's what BBN believes Pope will do. Comment below.